Oh my gosh, he's going to be like racist.
I strongly disagree with long distance relationships. I know the person.
With this family, I wash dishes. This person, wow, well done, you did very well.
In Italian culture, it's always about the family. Men even live up until with the age of 40. Oh my gosh, and I have to bring live cows or something.
My name is Evidence, born and raised in Bumalanga in the North Belt. And this is Marco. He's half South African, half Italian.
I grew up in a suburban area with quite a bit of privileges and a bit spoiled.
So I grew up in a village, basically where you have to walk to school. We didn't have water. We had to collect water like in a dam or in a stream. I think my mom really raised me very well because she fought for my education in a sense that she taught me that I have to go to school to have a better life. So I will say we grew up poor, but my grandparents were like more farmers. So we didn't like starve and stuff like that. But we didn't have like resources like fancy houses. It was one of those areas where, oh my, you needed to go to the bathroom. You need to wake someone up at night if you want to do a number two.
Well, I grew up with a family who had two cars. So my dad would go to work and then mom would use the car to shopping, drop siblings and myself off to school and various errands. And we had proper running water, proper bathrooms. So we didn't have to wake anyone if we need to go in the middle of the night. We basically met at Bible study at young adults.
So you can call us Bible study sweethearts. With this one, Marco thought I liked him, okay, because I was very talkative and I got so comfortable with him. Like he picked me up, I didn't have the car. I'll take me to Bible study. He'll take me to church. After church, he will take me shopping and stuff. So, you know, those things when you touch like a feminine, you know, you laugh and stuff like that. I used to do that to him. And for me, as an introvert, he thought, oh, wow, this girl likes me. When I realized that he liked me, it's when the young adults went to Spur and I ordered my favorite ribs. You know, ribs at Spur, it's almost like the most expensive, you know. I was willing to pay. So Marco said, no, I'm going to pay for you. Obviously, it wasn't the first time that a guy paid for me. I thought, no, I was sweating so much that maybe people would think I peed on myself. What's happening? What's happening? After that, when we were done, we went like to a waterfall in Hawi, and he was next to me. I started thinking differently.
Before I saw ill met evidence, I had no intentions of being in a relationship. I was probably going to live for the next many, many years single and then consider looking for something.
Because he was small, they cooked for him and did everything.
I think something within me just was like a spark that slowly became into a passionate fire that had my interests for evidence, and I think that bond unexpectedly just slowly binded between us.
And when I grew up, they always say, oh, you're gonna marry a white person because you are coconut. I love things. Out the village, wearing high heels, you know. So I've always like grew up very different. I had my own visions. I dreamt so big in a way that I didn't care whether I was in a village or what. I just did whatever I needed to do. And obviously, because we were also Christians and very strong Christians, those were one of the things that we could say we were attracted to. Like for me, godly man, for me, it's very attractive.
It was not really physical, unexpected physical attraction, but mostly spiritual attraction. The bones that was just by God's grace to happen. That we had the same spiritual attraction and that we followed the same God, we read the same Bible and follow the same principles and foundations.
So we met in a small town, Howick, which is close to Pietermaritzburg. That's where after I finished my master's degree, I was hired by a company to start a project there. So I was supposed to be there for 3 months and then I met him. I asked the company if I could stay a bit because I thought maybe it will be good to give our relationship a bit of a chance because Apple was straight as soon as we met that he didn't one, a long distance relationship. He wasn't great with long distance relationship, even if though I was his first girlfriend, but he felt that long distance relationship wasn't going to work for him.
I strongly disagree with long distance relationships because if you're going to see each other for a long period of time, how will you personally and in person know the person, the strengths and weaknesses? With my weaknesses is that I easily get quite jealous and insecure.
I never left because the company decided that I was doing really well. After I said I wanted to stay there and I didn't have to be close to my family, because I also liked, I've been like 6 years away from home. So I've enjoyed my own space now. And most of my friends also were in KZN at that time. The moments where I had to travel was like maybe a week, 7 days.
Sometimes 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, maybe sometimes I'll go to Uganda, Namibia, and those kind of places. But still, we used to fight. The moment I left, he was fighting the whole time. So it was a big issue for our relationship at that time. And I told him that I think we're not going to work out because of how you treat this. I'm going to work. Well, actually, we're not with each other 24/7. Like, even if during the week, it's not like he saw me every day, but I think he just has anxiety for the fact that I wasn't in the same town with him. So this thing that not seeing me for a week, 2 weeks, it was a shock for him. But I would say those were the only times we were apart. We've never been apart. Like after we got married, when I got retrenched, and he also didn't believe that, like in our culture, dad will be working in one province, the mother will be with the kids in another province. Well, I think the big differences that I saw with me was that Marcos family, they appreciate the small things. He'll wash dishes and maybe during the day or wash the bathroom floors, and his father will come back and say, "Oh, Marco, what did you do today?" So, you know what? I washed dishes and I washed the bathroom floors. This person, wow, well done, you did very well. And I'm like, in my culture, like doing dishes, wiping the floors, whatever, it doesn't count as like a well done. With this family, the small thing they appreciate it, like, wow, you did very well. And for me, it's like, what's happening here? Because those are like normal things. No one was going to praise you for that. I easily connected with Marco's family because they gave me something that my family never gave me. But I must say also, my family taught me to be really strong, to be resilient, which Marco never had, because I think maybe they kind of like, I wouldn't say life was like easy, but if you can compare of what they had, we can say life was easy. All of us win challenges, but if you have a little bit extra money, if you have a car, we can say your life is a little bit easier, though you meet challenges. Because when you meet challenges, Marco feels like it's the end of the world. Whereas with me, I've been through some stuff. I'm like, you compare too much, those kind of things. So because of those differences, sometimes, yeah, we have some disagreements because he doesn't have my experience and I don't have his.
Italian people are very passionate and affectionate, and just on the smallest of things. So we tend to praise it, and even the smallest of challenges just drives me up the wall. And what this relationship has developed us is that it actually helped me to solve problems and to find solutions, because I wasn't as resilient. In Italian culture, it's always about the family. You need to spoil the child, serve the child everything on a gold platter, and men even live up until the age of 40 just to with under their parents' roof. Strong family-based culture. Like in that country, family is always number one. It doesn't matter whether it's money, job, etc.
My mom is very open-minded, though at first she was really shocked that I said my boyfriend was a white person. But yeah, when we go to my family, they welcome him very well. But it's just like when we are with my family, we cannot like hold hands like this or kiss. Whereas when we're with his family, he's always like kissy kissy, huggy huggy. We now have a bit of a clock. that when we are with my family, it's like,
It's a switch.
it's a switch, but he still struggles. Like, it's been 6 years now. He's like, okay. You will be like, oh, mom, you will call his mom. Don't you think everyone is so beautiful? And then, his mother said, oh my God, she has such a beautiful body. Whatever. And you will say like crazy things, like telling his mom, I will never like say to my mom, don't you think Marco is so handsome or something? Like small words I just cannot say. Maybe his father might have seen a picture online that we posted together or something. I'm not too sure. But I remember the day I met Marco's father, because Marco's mom was at the hospital. He didn't tell me that I was going to meet his father. Maybe they spoke about it. I don't know. But we were like at his house and stuff like that. And he told me, oh, my father will arrive soon, so I'll be meeting him. I'm like, what? I'll be meeting your father. That time I'm thinking, oh my gosh, he's gonna thinking a black guy, maybe he's going to be like racist and stuff like that. So I went to the bathroom. When I heard the gate open, I went to the bathroom. What am I going to say? What am I going to say? It was, within a month or so, because their culture, you can bring a girlfriend home and stuff like that. With my family, it took a bit of time. Maybe it could be 6 months, because after his family knew the church, we started going for counseling, because they always taught us about intentional dating. They asked Marco if his family knew. Marco said, yes, they know. They asked me, does your family know? I said, no. They said, why not? Both families have to know. I'm like, oh my gosh. No, I have to tell my family. I didn't know what to do. So I sent my mom a picture and a message. I'm like, he's my friend. But now the church said that you guys must get to know him, so he must visit. Because now he was at church, or they said, Marco needs to get to see your family, to see them. Preferable, if you have a guest house, he's going to be living with your family when he visits, so that you can see what kind of a family are you. Is he ready and willing to marry into that family? After maybe a month or few weeks, I don't know, Marco now I've visited my family. So I think I might have went before him, or I needed to be there for something when it was Christmas. So Marco came. And obviously, I think he used my brother's room or something like that. And everyone.
So I was basically the only white person in the vacation or village. So I was very nervous because lots of things was racing in my mind. I think at the first meeting, I was just mostly in evidence's place. So it just because that was basically my safe space there.
We went to Kruger, we went to various attraction in the Lobola, Kraskop Gorge. So I took him a bit around there. So I think he felt really happy that he was like in a vacation.
I actually hit this relationship for about 6 weeks from my father, and he actually found out on Facebook. I had to confess that she's my girlfriend, and I can sense on his face he was a bit disappointed that I hid this from him, and he did tell me, don't be afraid. When he met, and I think he was a little bit suspicious or a bit offy because she was a different, come from a different, because of his skin color was different, and he was trying to mend the bridges because he was very racist many years ago. And then over time, with him knowing evidence, it's actually gotten to understand one race is not more valuable than the other one, because God created every one of us equal in His image. My dad actually lacked evidence in a short space. It was that time that my mom was really not well, so she was in hospital. My mom met evidence when evidence was in our guest room, because she was not feeling well. She had to go to hospital because she had heart palpitation issues. So she had to move in to my place so that we can monitor her and take care of her. So that's how my mom met. And my mom really liked evidence, especially like the face, the figure. My mom always comments, stunning figure, beautiful body, very intelligent.
And like Marco said, the first day we met, we were like talking. As soon as he arrived, and then we met maybe for 10 minutes, and he started telling me about how he came to South Africa as a boy. Also, his mom when she met me, I was sick and stuff like that. But when she saw me, oh, your skin, wow, this black skin is so beautiful. I love black skin. Your bed is so beautiful. Oh, Marcos mom was just praising me the whole time. And they just love everything about me. I love the fact that my husband taught me love in the sense that I didn't have to earn love. Even if after fighting or doing like crazy things, you like hug me. It's crazy. It's not like, Suga. We never went to bed like angry. We can literally like argue now. Like now. In a minute. Well, it's like we didn't argue. So I think it's like their culture, the way that, that you are taught to love and everything. The least thing that I don't like about him is inside so Italian, very passionate. Even if about things that is not supposed to be passionate. This thing, then he will start and go on and on. Just like he said that Italian made by terrible people. It's an Italian thing. Everything is like too much. It can be too much.
Especially when it comes to cooking.
Yeah. Everything can be too much about food. Even if when they're angry, it can be too much. But like, thank God, like he did say that he had maybe insecurity, a bit of anger. God has been helped. But with Italians, everything is too much. That's why even if when I'm angry, he doesn't take me serious. Because when I'm angry at him, he thinks I'm not angry at him.
I think it's the evidence of personality because she's a very kind person. Always think about people rather than herself. But it's a good thing. It's a very good thing. Her spirituality with God. I mean, I'll be very concerned if she had to put me, her husband, before Jesus, because Jesus is the number one love, the number one priorities. And the way she encourages me to be a man of God, to be that spiritual leader as a man. That's the part I like about evidence, and also how to problem solve and how to be patient. She's got a beautiful face and a beautiful body. Also like that as well.
In terms of professionalism, in a sense of academic, that was one thing that maybe we were in different levels. My husband didn't really like studying and stuff like that. With me, I was always like academic, maybe because of my upbringing. After I finished my third year, I could have gone working. But I realized that once you are a postgraduate student, it unlocks more opportunities. Then I kept on studying. Then I started 6 years in varsity. So that was one thing that was like really a challenge because she never really understood why I loved books or why I wanted to study law. But eventually you saw the opportunities were that do give me, regardless of some of the challenges that sometimes being black in South Africa, you can still be disadvantaged, maybe either with the salary as compared to like a white person. He got to see some of those things and he thought that, you know what, if he can be in a certain level of academic, he can also maybe challenge that as someone who is not like those white people that they feel that black people maybe should earn less or be treated in a specific way.
I thank God for bringing evidence into my life is to increase my academic levels. And yes, I didn't like studying, but the way I grasp information easy is visualizing, like watching YouTube videos.
So him studying further, it just have been so helpful for him and us as a couple.
So the reason why we moved to South Korea is we like traveling and to explore cultures and explore the world. And it's actually quite an eye-opener, especially for me, because it was my first country to actually live abroad, like properly abroad without my parents.
It was a big adjustment for me. And other thing also being like a researcher, the job itself was quite challenging. Even if though that we got paid like a lot, we were not traveling as how we wanted to travel, So it was one of those things that, let me give this thing a try, let me just apply, So when I got a job, both of us obviously left our jobs and came here. But the core of it was that South Korea has Christians, has churches who could get that family and that Christian community. We are planning to just travel more of Asia and even if other parts of Europe because it's much cheaper to travel from Vienna as compared to travel from South Africa. White people, they look at us in a very weird way. Some they gave us that eye. It's like because we'll be holding hands. And with black people, because Marco doesn't understand the language, they'll say, he stole our wife. Yeah, we know who he stole our wife. Like maybe at the mall and stuff like that. I think now people are more exposed to interracial relationships. I haven't heard it in a few years now, but I remember at the early dating stage, because even if with us at our early dating stages, we were not really meeting a lot of interracial people. But after a few years, we started seeing like a lot more. Like even if when we moved to Santon, we like saw a lot of interracial people. And now when we're in Korea, it's even if worse because there's a lot of international people. And even if Koreans themselves, they marry Americans, a lot of Americans. So though their skin look white, but it's still interracial. But yeah, I can say in Korea, they still give us a bit of a look because for them, I mean, there's not a lot of Korean people marrying black people. So they get to like look at us and then they look and then they see that this people is like they're together. In Korea, even if when you are a white person, in certain places, they might like look at you, whereas some bigger places, they're like more used to seeing foreigners, more used to seeing black people. But in South Africa itself, and I could say now South Africa is doing much better. They are more accepting these days as compared to a few years back.
With the Lobola part, well, I thought it was quite an amount that they asked me, but to them that was like quite reasonable and fairly cheap. But I'm like, yo, that's quite a lot. Oh my gosh, and I have to bring live cows or something. I thought like a small herd of cows. So it was quite a shock of me. And like even during the Lobola ceremony, I'm like, jeepers, is this all you do is just dance and music? Don't you do anything else? Or
We didn't like do a proper Lobola celebration where we have like outfits and stuff. I think it was because it was during COVID. I wore just my cultural
it was a slapdash Lobola, basically.
yeah, we didn't have like a Lobola celebration, but since I'm talking by my relatives, they knew how to dance Ishibelana. They came with a crew, so it was still very nice, but yet very because at that time it was really difficult to say both this, but it was just really very basic. So Marco didn't really want us to waste money because he thought the Lobola was expensive, and to be honest, I thought it was just him. I also asked another white guy. And this white guy was someone who's actually maybe let's say had more money than me, more wealthy. I asked him if this money. He said, "What? That's a lot of money." I'm like, actually, this is nothing. This is nothing in our culture. That was like a free. You actually taking this person for free. Some people, even if with just a metric, they've charged way more. I was trying to explain that in actually white culture in South Africa, the ladies' side, they are the ones who pay for the wedding. That's why now a big shop, but a bride now has to pay whatever that they say. After the Lobola, they step with my family because now we're now uniting. So the preparation had to be more from their side, telling them that this is the Lobola expectations. This is what you have to do when you arrive. This is what you have to do.
I felt very overwhelming. So what if the thing didn't? There was no agreement. What if they didn't agree and like so they told me, oh, because of this, you cannot marry evidence. My heart was actually was racing because I'm like, is this what you guys think about? Is this just money? You treat a wife's hand in marriage as a business transaction. So that's how I felt though.
People, you know what? Sometimes if people won't accept the relationship, it's not about only color. Like sometimes we as black people, we judge each other in terms of even if where you come from. We could be a black Zulu and black Tsonga. The parents might still have an issue. The interracial relationship does come with its own different color, but that shouldn't be something that stops you from wanting to date. As long as the person itself that you are falling in love with accepts you for who you are. Because if also are racist, but they really love their child, they will work things through. It will take them time to adjust, but it shouldn't stop you to fall in love with a person that you like because you are afraid of racism.
you need to realize that marriage is a serious covenant. So it's not just, oh, kiss a bride, you'll be living together. No, it's a serious covenant. You'll be spending the rest of your life with that person, and you need to know as a future godly husband or wife or couple or married couple, you need to know your priorities. Like, first God, then your spouse, and then your children, and then the other things will follow. Also, understand each other in quite easy, and encourage one another, and build one another.